The Trump administration is calling out sanctuary cities, some calling it a shame campaign. A few Bay Area counties are on that list. KPIX5's Phil Mateer joining us now to explain. Phil?
All right, this is the latest twist in the sanctuary debate. The Department of Homeland Security today released the first ever report of law enforcement agencies here in California and across the country that are not cooperating with federal immigration authorities. For example, on January 29th, Alameda County Sheriff's Department declined to turn over a Cambodian immigrant who had been convicted of domestic violence. February 2nd, Santa Clara jailers declined to turn over a Mexican immigrant for domestic violence charges as well. There are about 2 of the multiple ICE requests that have been turned down by local authorities in 1 week period in California for inmates who have been arrested or convicted of everything from drugs to forgery to assault. And they're all included in this new report, as we said, from Homeland Security, aimed at telling the American public who immigration enforcers are looking to pick up and what local jails aren't allowing them to be deported. The report also contains a warning that immigration field offices have been ordered to start using more detainers again, and that regardless of prior non-cooperation from counties, as a result, the number of detainers issued will increase. No, this report is aimed at drawing attention to the type of people that ICE wants to deport. In other words, put pressure on state and local authorities that are considering sanctuary resolutions to say, if you do, we're going to put this out every week and let people know who's staying here with your protection.
Tighten the screws.
That's it.
Yeah.
The Department of Homeland Security is now reporting which police departments do not hold inmates for immigration authorities. It's the first report of its kind under the new administration. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, is naming every police department that does not detain inmates who ICE believes should be removed from the United States. According to ICE officials, in just 1 week, police departments around the country declined 206 detainers. 149 of those were in Texas. The agency says this kind of report will now be happening weekly.
To the parents and loved ones, you kept the flame of justice alive with your activism. Keep it going. Laura Wilkerson, who lost her 17-year-old son, beautiful Josh.
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, delivered its first detainer report on people who have been arrested and are in the country illegally.
And in Woodburn today, dozens responded by rallying against ICE. Our Andrew Dimber, digging deeper, joining us now to break it all down. Andrew?
Yeah, well, Jennifer, Jeff, detainers are requests by ICE to local law enforcement on people who could be deported for being convicted or even just charged with a crime. So this report found that Washington County had 7 detainers between January 28th and February 3rd. Essentially, that means 7 people were arrested by local police during that time and should be deported according to ICE. But that doesn't mean that local law enforcement has to call ICE and say, hey, deport these 7 people we have or had in custody. Still, some are troubled by this detainer report.
People united will never be divided.
Tonight, the community of Woodburn has a message for ICE.
Just get ICE out of Woodburn.
This on the heels of a detainer report issued by ICE.
Our community here is, just really scared with all the ICE raids that have been happening.
The report highlights cities and counties that are not cooperating with ICE to detain illegal immigrants who have been charged or convicted of a crime. Washington County has one of the highest number of detainers issued in the report. And we found that the detainers were issued from a wide range of crimes, from traffic offenses to assault and burglary.
Mothers and fathers that don't seem to have much of a criminal record beyond being here in an undocumented fashion are being taken away from their families, and the families are left to struggle and figure out how do they provide for themselves, and I don't see that how that helps our country.
And citing a 2014 court ruling, Washington County Sheriff's Office says it is not under any legal obligation to call ICE and tell them to deport anyone they've arrested, but would comply with any federal warrants issuing this statement. Quote, Washington County informed ICE officials that it will honor any warrant or court order to detain a person. Going on to say that Washington County will continue to follow the court's clear guidance that these detainer requests are unconstitutional.
5:30. Steve?
Yeah, this Immigration Day of action comes on the heels of the federal government putting out a list of agencies that they say do not fully cooperate with ICE, and Providence is on that list.
Immigration Day of Action.
Signing the resolution,
Mayor Jorge Elorza marks today officially as Immigration Day of Action in Providence.
America is a great country, and it's a great country not in spite of our immigrants, but because of our immigrants.
The news conference comes less than a day after a list was released by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. WPRI.com broke it first. The City of Providence and the Department of Corrections are two of more than 100 agencies nationally listed by ICE for enacting policies which limit cooperation with the federal agency. Responding to our questions, Elorza said he believes the city does cooperate and comply with federal law.
Released yesterday, we're all trying to figure out exactly what the list is for, what use it has.
The acting director of ICE said the goal is to build cooperative, respectful relationships. Public Safety Commissioner Stephen Perry said he contacted ICE earlier this year.
I wanted to open the lines of communication so they knew exactly what we'll do and what we will not do.
Right now, police officers do not ask residents about their immigration status in Providence and will not hold undocumented immigrants for an extended period of time while ICE secures a warrant.
So if they come to Providence and they're doing any sweeps, that we will not be involved, and they understood that.
And the Department of Corrections, which is also on the ICE list, said in a statement that their policy is in response to a federal court decision. I'm Steve Neal.